Live from Hollywood, back here on RHAP for week 2 of Dancing with the Stars, season 34, one hit wonder night, affectionately, as Julianne would say. And we have some results. 2 couples have left the ballroom. And speaking of the number 2, we have 2 different guests here with us today. Let me start with, of course, I am Matt, here filling in for Sasha this week. We have the great RHAP great, I should say, Haley Strong. Haley, how are you?
I am so thrilled to be here. I love this show, and I also love Dancing with the Stars.
Haley, I know, comes alive this time of year when it's time for Dancing with the Stars. There's a whole segment on sometimes on the Bachelor podcast.
It is because usually there's a Bachelor contestant on the show, and there's not this year. So we're still shoehorning it in because Amy and I both love the show anyway. But I'm so excited to talk about Dancing with the Stars. You're right. Yes. I come alive this time of year. I love watching the show. It's so much fun. You are the only podcast I would stay up this late to podcast for.
Well, we are so grateful, Haley, that you are here with us tonight, as is another special guest. You know him from so many different things. Big Brother, The Challenge, this week, 99 to Beat. So we'll get into that a little bit, I'm sure. And Broadway, so many other things. But we finally have a dancer with us here on the podcast. Tommy Bracco is with us. Tommy, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm so excited obviously, you know, we've been friends. I love your show, but now we're talking Dancing with the Stars. So this is literally a dream come true. It's my favorite show.
It's not Big Brother, it's not The Challenge. We're talking a whole different genre of, but you have a lot of experience, not just with dance. Tommy, I know about the Tommy Bracco family Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, so good. Oh, thanks. Yeah,
tell us a little bit about that. We'll get into the results and all that stuff.
Yeah,
just real quick at the top.
So, okay, we're all obsessed with Dancing with the Stars. We usually always watch together. Tonight we didn't, but in between every dance, my family were all calling each other, talking about how everyone did, who we like, what we thought. So we are major Dancing with the Stars fans. So much so that we did a family edition of Dancing with the Stars. We paired up different people in the family. We had 6 different couples, I believe. And you had to make up 3 different dances. There were 3 different themes. And we all competed one at a time. And then at the end, we had a winner. We had
judges.
We had the whole entire shebang. We had an audience vote. We were live streaming it, so people were voting in the live stream chat. It was so fun. And then we edited it together and posted it, and all the Dancing with the Stars cast members were commenting on it. So it was, you know, we're big fans. So I'm honored to be here and be talking this show.
Yeah, makes sense to get you in here, you know, sooner than later. So here we are. Just some reminders up at the top for anybody. First of all, anybody that's here with us in the chat, thank you so much for being here up with us late tonight, as is Haley. Of course, make sure that you are in our brand new Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/RHAP DWTS. If you want to get some questions, feedback, all that stuff in throughout the week. We have a new podcast feed. We know dancingwiththestars.com will take you right there. So you can get every podcast downloaded right into your feed. And just any other way that you can engage with the podcast here to let people know that you're listening, help us out, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff to show that you are here and interested in all this dancing content. But let's get into the night. Haley, just getting right into it with the results here. 2 couples have left the ballroom, and I am expected one of them personally. The other one, very sad.
Yeah, so this is the result I expected, to be honest with you. I thought Andy had enough of a personality that it would carry him through. I thought Hilaria had enough skill that would carry her through at least this first week. I'm pretty devastated to lose Britt this early. I will reveal to you right now who I voted for. I made sure to take screenshots because I thought it was important. So I gave 10 votes each to Andy and Emma and Baron and Britt, because those were the 2 couples that I was most worried about.
Yeah.
Then I gave 5 votes to the following: Danielle and Pasha, Dylan and Daniella, Elaine and Allen, Jordan and Ezra, Lauren and Brandon, Robert and Whitney.
Were those 10 votes each, you said?
5 votes.
5 votes each. Okay. Because you're allowed to split it up. Yeah.
I know they're allowed 10, but like I really like those couples, but I believe that like they don't need my vote. Where I was like, I think Baron might need my votes tonight. And I did that right at the beginning of the episode. And so that was before I even saw any of the dances. I unfortunately did think that Baron had the worst dance of the night. So like it is kind of like, yeah, fair enough. But I'm really sad to lose Britt this early because
that's what it is for me. I love Britt. She's probably my favorite pro right now. I love her love story that's been all over my social media in the best way possible. But Tommy, what do you think of these results?
I actually really listen. Baron did mess up, but he had some kind of like the fluidity in his body. I was really impressed with that. So I was hoping that he was going to get through so we could see more of him. Look, you like Dancing with the Stars is tough because you have some people that have so much experience, some people that are really just working hard. At the end of the day, I usually wind up rooting for the people that are the hungriest and that want it the most. And I'm looking for that potential. To me, Emma and Andy are relying on their charisma and just like performance. I don't see them pushing the limits as far as the choreo goes this week, as far as the dance steps. He kind of just stood there. That does not do it for me. It felt very safe. So I kind of was hoping that they were going to go home today.
I just at least like find him entertaining where like, I feel like totally. Corey and Andy were giving the same amount of content and like expertise, but at
Andy's
least like I was having a good time watching Andy. Tommy, I'd love your opinion on the matter, and I feel like it's a huge conversation in every season of Dancing with the Stars. Do you care if a contestant has previous dance experience, and to what level do you care?
I don't care. Because I think you need a balance. Like if we were watching all terrible people, that like it wouldn't be fun. We need some good people in there too. So I like when there are good people. Like I loved watching Charli D'Amelio because I felt like week after week, she was pushing herself and still growing. Just she's on a different playing level than everybody else. And that's okay. But she was still improving every week. And still like every week she came in, it was fresh and it was different. It wasn't safe. And so I think she's a good example of how we can see a couple that starts out a celebrity that starts out as a great dancer, continue to improve and still belong in this competition. I will say this is my favorite cast I've seen in a long time because
it's really good. It's really good. I will say
balanced. Like like across the board, like we really only had those couple of couples who I felt like didn't have any chance. I mean, okay, it does feel like a runaway for Robert in week 1, but
I know.
I'm so impressed. I'm having a great time. I thought there was an incredible amount of improvement from last week to this week. I thought everybody took the judges' notes to heart and really worked on that. And I will say, like, I was so impressed. I was so impressed this week.
Yeah.
Does anybody else feel like some of these couples may not be like the perfect match? Or maybe maybe we just need more time. I just am like sitting with some of them and I'm like, I feel like you'd be better with this person. And
Tell me
who.
With this person. Tell me who.
I don't have the list yet. Okay. I do want to think more about it this week. And I may drop a list in the Facebook group at some point when I can put more thought into it. But just like as we were like Scott and Riley, like
I was
the second week in a row. Yeah, I'm just like, they are both so talented, but something about it is keeping their score so low. And I don't know what to make of it. I'm like, is it just not the perfect partnership that we could have gotten? Even like Danny and Dylan, I'm like obviously, you know, there's something to Dylan and we're seeing, oh, the hips are moving and it's great. But like Danny thrives on such good choreography. And like, is there nobody else that she could have got? I don't know. There's just a couple.
I think they thought Dylan was going to be better than he is.
They must have. Yeah.
I think so too.
And maybe he'll open up more, but
I'm feeling that way about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. I was just saying, I think he did better this week. I think that we saw like he had the hips going, which I really appreciated, but he's just lacking in energy. I feel like when he hits the move, it's not like something's not like the spark isn't there or
he
something.
Needs to let go. Like
he's a little shy.
He's so contained. Yeah.
I mean, the whole storyline, you know, I lived my whole life in my brother's shadow type of thing. It's like, no, but you can tell, like, and I don't mean that to be like harsh. Like,
no,
obviously
you're right.
He's been, you know, all over the screen for the past year, but you can still see the little bit of like hesitation to go all the way there. But then in the TikToks, he's fine. When there's no live audience, when he's just got the camera and him and Danny, like, you can see he's having fun. It's just a little bit of stage fright, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. So by the way, by the time we get to the end of this, if we have time, Haley, you're friends with the pop culture data crew, right? A little bit. You've talked to them before.
She's been on our podcast. Yeah. She's so fabulous.
They have a great chart that they put together from Instagram and TikTok growth from these people over the past week. So I want to check in on that at the end, but we'll wait a little bit. Let me just pull up the leaderboard here real quick. Of course, shout out to whoever I took this from on Twitter. Appreciate your screenshots. This is the top of the leaderboard. I also want to mention Haley Carrion back tonight.
Yes. So I've been a little bit of a Carrie Ann hater in the last couple years. I will say last week I deeply missed her because she's usually the chaotic one who overscores everything. And then that kind of like brings Bruno and Derek down a level to like score fairly because they know what's coming from Carrie Ann. Where last week, about a quarter way through the show, they just lost it in my mind. Like they were overscoring all over the place, where we had some, I would say, very fair scores in the beginning, and then we just like lost the plot completely.
That's a good observation.
I missed her too. And I didn't know that I would, but when she wasn't there, I was like, no,
exactly.
This is a staple of the show. And if she is not back soon, I'm getting itchy.
Yeah. Carrie Ann, she went away for one episode because she was like, I've been hearing you guys complaining about me. I'm going to leave for one single episode my entire career of Dancing with the Stars judging.
But Tommy, so she comes back tonight and she's got the high scores. She's throwing everybody like one number higher than the rest of the judges.
Yeah, I am a big Carrie Ann fan. I just feel like, I don't know. I texted my cousin tonight actually too. She does this thing where she gives a little bit of criticism, but then she overcompensates with positivity, and it makes her almost seem like it makes her criticism seem worse. She almost doesn't own the criticism, or she's afraid to give it.
She's afraid
something. Because she gets
so much hate.
And it's like so heartbreaking to watch, honestly, because I'm like, you're such a badass. Like, you are so qualified to give this advice.
Yeah.
Like, but it's sometimes it's just like a little hard to watch.
Well, again, no, she's by far not perfect. Like we've gone so deep into like criticizing some of the ways that she's criticized other contestants throughout the past.
Yes.
Last season being the first one that we covered, and we're still keeping an eye on that kind of thing. But
yeah,
it does feel like she has valuable things to add. And again, it just felt like a piece of the show is missing. And then for timing this week, we have the third judge only gets to say one word.
So weird. So, and like, I thought that the troupe did such a beautiful job this episode. Let's give the judges, I don't know, 3 words and cut the troupe for a few.
For episodes. 1 week. Yeah. Why not? It was tough. And those words, it may as well not. It was silly.
Some of them weren't even words. Some of them were just motions, and like, that's okay.
I'm laughing when Derek says blue, but like, move that time somewhere else.
And like, also that doesn't give me any value. And I really, part of the thing I enjoy about this show is like, I'm not a dancer. I don't come from a dance world. Mm-hmm. I've never done dance. I love hearing like what it is exactly that they're looking for in these dances. Just as much as like the contestants are, so that like I can personally judge. Like, I feel like I've learned so much from these judges over the past couple of years, and I feel like I'm even like not qualified to judge, but I understand what they're asking for now. Yeah. I can see those lifts. I can see, the tango, I want that to be in hold the entire time. I don't want them to break. Like the jive, I want that to be in hold the entire time. So I just wish we could get more from the judges. I wish we could stop with all of the booing, because I just want to understand where they're coming from. The celebrities want to understand what they could be doing better so that they can win and make so much more money if they make it to the end.
Right.
Yep.
All right, let me get this back up on the screen here. It's the leaderboard yet again. So, Tommy, looking at the top of the list, Haley mentioned, of course, and we talked about this last week, Robert and Whitney seeming like they are going to be the ones to beat. They talk about that in their intro package, and we'll talk about their dance from this week. But looking at the board here, if you're only listening and not watching, watch us on YouTube. But we have Robert and Whitney, and then rivals, Whitney and Whitney, rivals from the dance studios, that whole thing. Whitney and Mark also tied at the top with 37. Hilaria and Gleb in third place right now, a three-way tie for fourth with Alix and Val, Jen and Jan, Lauren and Brandon, and then in seventh place, top half of the leaderboard, Elaine and Allen. Tommy, what do you make of this top half?
It makes sense that there's so many ties right now. I know that we do usually see that, but like I was saying earlier, I think this is a really good cast. And what I mean by that is that, yes, everyone is good. Everyone can, like, for the most part, they can all dance. But what stands out to me even more is that they are all hungry and all want it. Usually, I think we've got like 50-50. Like half just like want to be there because they're collecting a check. It's an opportunity to be on TV again. And half of them want to get better and really embrace this competition. I feel like 85% of them are really there because they want to embrace the competition this season. So it's thrilling to watch. I really love them all. We started the episode and I think I posted something. I'm like, Team Danielle Fisher. And then I see the next one come on. I'm like, oh, I love her too. Oh, I love them. Oh, yeah. I love them. Who am I rooting for? I love so many people that I can't pick, truly. That's kind of where I'm at. Yes, Robert and Whitney are the like obvious choice, but and I really am rooting for them actually. Like they really are that good that like you have to root for them. But who, if not them, I don't know. Who else am I rooting for?
I can't game. Yeah, and like we talk about maybe Dylan is still moving a little bit awkwardly. You don't have to be getting the best scores to win this show. If anyone's new to the show, it's great when somebody is both doing well and getting this the audience's votes at home, but it's not always the case that the best, I'm going to say best in air quotes because the best scoring team ends up winning. But this group at the top looking pretty strong, specifically Elaine and Allen being in this top half. We talk about some of the quote unquote older contestants who we're all thinking maybe in the bottom, but here we have Elaine, top half. She's crushing it so far.
She did great.
Yeah. And then Haley, looking at the bottom half of the list, what are we thinking here? Of course, we do end up seeing the bottom team, Corey and Jenna, go home. Baron and Britt pretty close to the bottom, but they were not the bottom or second to bottom.
Yeah, I would say like the Jordan and Danielle being kind of technically in the bottom feels unfair to me. I was very impressed with both of them this week. I thought Jordan actually had my favorite dance of the night. I thought she was most improved. I thought we'll get to it more when we actually talk about the dance. I thought Danielle was very impressive too. I think Pasha, his absolute strength in this show is making his partners extremely comfortable and doing very classic choreography that's hitting all of the notes that the judges want to see content wise. And I thought he did a brilliant job. Scott, we're just like not quite connecting yet. I think we'll get there. Riley's so new to the show that she's still learning how to choreograph and how to teach different partners. Like she's had 3 extremely different partners so far. So it's not even like she can kind of like take what she like did last year and apply it directly to Scott. Like he's a completely different dancer than Steven was. Harry, like let's just pretend that never happened at all. She's learning, Scott's learning. Dylan, I think we'll get more into this, but like I just am like, okay, yeah, I guess this is the bottom, but like I'm still having a nice time.
Yeah.
This show has always been, especially for big fans of the show, just as much for us about the pros as it is about the celebrities.
They're like more famous. Mark Ballas is more famous than half the people on this show.
Yeah. Like, and, like people like the 3 of us have been watching for years. Like we're interested in the journey of the pros. And so that's why I'm so heartbroken that Britt is out so early again. But we talked about this last week, watching Ezra and Riley grow as pros and like learn how to teach in such a big setting here is crazy. I mean, it's been quite the journey and we're only 2 weeks in for this season.
Yeah. what Ezra was able to do from last week and really take that, really take the criticism and like apply it this week, I thought was very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shall we begin getting into some of these couples and how tonight went for them and, you know, the season as a whole? Obviously, you guys weren't here last week either. So please, let's start anywhere. But Tommy, kick us off. What'd you think of the first dance of the night, Alix and Val, Mambo number 5?
I think I love Alix on social media and I love Val. I kind of feel like they might be one of the couples that we were kind of talking about earlier, that something's just not clicking for me. I don't know what it is. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not like getting the chemistry between them. I'm just not, something's off. And yet I love both of them as individuals. I will say that I think that they did way better this week than, I mean, I loved last week because, it was Brittany. It was so much fun. But in terms of like the actual dance, I think that Alix danced way better tonight than she did last time. She had way more fluidity in her movement. I was talking about it with my family, my cousin, last week, and she said to me, I feel like Alix was just hitting poses. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly right. That is what she was doing. But this week, she was moving through. So I loved seeing that. I do think that this is a boring song. So like it just was like, okay, it was not anything to write home about.
It seems slow for a jive too, right? Like the music itself felt very slow for a jive.
Yeah, they slowed it down. I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
Somebody with Corey's song too.
Yes.
I was like,
what?
Come on.
Even the last song
and Blue too. Yeah, it just felt like it felt off. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to, if you know these songs so well, which the audience knows these songs, you can't slow them down that much. Like, we feel it. We feel that tempo. We miss it.
They announced the themes, and they talked about them tonight. They announced all of the themes on the Joey podcast that's happening this season. And some of them, like, come on, a Wicked theme night is coming up. I just can't even believe it. But of course, we have our typical Disney night. There's a Prince night. There's a lot of fun themes coming up. TikTok night is next week, which will be interesting with Tommy. You'll be excited to see Charlie D'Amelio back in the ballroom as one of the guest judges. So that'll be fun. But this one felt like just an idea that maybe they had as like a backup idea, and they said, let's just use it week 2. Why not?
Yeah,
I
think you're right, because I think Alix is going to be here for a bit, so they probably were like, let's not kill ourselves this week. This is not the week to bust our butts. We'll save it. We got some more gas in the tank that we'll pull out later.
I agree that this is like a couple where I'm not feeling the chemistry. I also just don't particularly know Alix from her work. And I do find she is doing the moves very well, but I'm not finding like any performance coming out of it. And especially for somebody who has, like, I'm assuming, grown a very large TikTok audience from being able to connect pretty well with her audience. Like, I'm not feeling any connection.
Can I be messy for a second? Why is Alix not paired with Gleb?
Right.
As far as I'm aware, I think Alix is single. And you don't have Gleb on the show. Look, I know it's
because Gleb wasn't supposed to be here,
and that's the thing. But like, and we said this last week too. Gleb should not have this much chemistry with his partner.
Wait, is Alix single? I don't think she is.
Maybe not. I'm sorry. I'm being corrected in the chat. Yeah, Michael's saying Alix is dating Braxton Berry. Yeah. I don't know who that is.
So part of me wonders if she was like, don't put me with Gleb.
Everyone's saying, no more showmances. I knew it was a controversial take, but I don't know. I just like, so many of these pairings aren't working for me. This is definitely one of them where I'm like, look, I know they need more time to kind of like warm up to one another, but even Alix is vlogging the season. She's one of her and Danielle is podcasting about the season. And I watched her first vlog from last week, and like, it's her meeting Val and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even see much friendship forming here. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm not in the rehearsals, but it's not showing just yet. They're both like, he's bringing out plenty of good in her, and these performances have been solid. They get 3 7s this week. They're obviously towards the top of the leaderboard, but it's just like, as far as me ever wanting to even think about voting for them, there's just so many other teams that I'm connecting with more.
Yep. Agreed.
So Jake Shane was there. I don't know if any Jake Shane,
Yes.
I don't know, fans are on the panel here.
I feel so old.
Oh, Haley. I think that they're very good friends. He was in the vlog from the first week, but this was not a bad way to start off the night. Bruno's word was breakthrough.
We're week 2. Are we really breaking through?
Exactly. But
Bruno's my favorite. He's so good.
Not a bad start. Let's talk about our next couple. Tommy, is this also your favorite couple? Because it's mine.
Yeah.
Danielle and Pasha.
She just wants it so badly. She's so passionate about it. She's ready to leave it all on the line, give it all up. And those are the kind of people that I want to watch. So I love her. I think she's great.
Haley, you can't feel old while we're talking about Boy Meets World. So
this woman has not aged one single second. I swear to God. She looks younger than like in the clips when they were showing her when she was a literal child.
Yeah.
Like she's beautiful. She wants this. She gives an F, which is so lovely to see. Pasha, I'm happy for Pasha to have like a great partner again. Like poor Pasha, like he often gets stuck with the people who are like, they're gonna be out week 2.
Carol Baskin.
So sorry, but I feel like Danielle has enough sway that she's gonna be able to do this. I think she's very funny in her interview clips. I haven't watched her like podcast or anything. I will say I wish I did see the bruise while dancing. Like I'm upset they covered it up with makeup. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it.
Oh, it sounded brutal. She did talk about it on the podcast that she's just, dealing with this. And of course, the only way she's stopping in this competition is if they pull her out of it. Like she wants to be doing this so bad. She wants to be here so bad. And you'd love to see that. Like that is, this isn't, a celebrity who just wants to be on the show to have more, another 15 minutes. Like she is so here for this challenge and so here for this partnership. Like this is been my favorite team since the cast was announced, but like the partnership just works. It makes so much sense. They're having so much fun together. And that's what you can, the judges are seeing it too. Carrie Ann talked about the naturalness to her dancing. But I did, understand where she was coming from with the but were you breathing in the first half question, because it did seem like Danielle
and Danielle's like, no, I wasn't. Okay.
A little
can I do a slight Strictly side note here,
of course,
which is that Strictly Come Dancing is about to start. And one of the contestants already got pulled because she broke her ankle. Danny Dyer, who like was probably going to win this season of Strictly, like had to back out because she broke her ankle.
Not great.
No, and for those who like want the Dancing with the Stars crossover with Strictly, former troop member Alexis is a pro this year on Strictly. She has a celeb. Very excited to see what she does over there.
Yeah,
she is so good.
So good.
She's like one of my favorite dancers. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, so I'm really excited she's getting like an opportunity to like do this like in the UK on Strictly, which like is just as big of a show in the UK as like Dancing with the Stars is on this side of the ocean.
Tommy,
do either of you know why it didn't work out for her at Dancing with the Stars?
I think they just like the pro pool for the women was so deep that they were like cutting people like PETA and like you know what I mean? Like they just didn't have a spot for her and like weren't going to have one.
It's so competitive for these spots. Everyone, the pros become so beloved and they want to bring more pros and they want to bring your Rileys in, the next generation kind of thing. And they just run out of spots. It's tough.
Yeah. So good.
Tommy, question for you when it comes to this performance. As a performer, both in dance and everything else you do up on that stage, moments like this happen, right? Where Danielle missed the pull through at the end. Pasha goes to pull her through his legs, and it didn't happen. And they recovered, but it happens.
It happens, and it doesn't bother me when you handle it the way that she did.
Yeah,
like one thing I will say is she did make a face that like she really like made it obvious that they made a mistake.
Yeah,
but in a way, it like makes it, this is live. Like in a way, it makes it more real. That's why like even Baron messing up, like I don't mind to mess up, honestly. It doesn't bother me that much. It's what you do afterwards. Do you crumble afterwards or do you get back on and then try and kill it with the rest of the performance? Like I don't know, there's just something about Danielle, even if she messes up, she's having fun. And that's kind of all I care about at the end of the day, is that she's pushing herself and having a great time. I don't expect perfection. It's week 2, but like, as long as you're just having a ball, I'm happy watching.
I want
And
the
I
deep
think
run.
I think there's a bit of a difference if it's happening right at the end and it's like that's the end performance and you go, darn it, like I was so close to the finish line, than like a Baron situation where it really seemed to just mess him up and he couldn't recover at any point.
Right.
So I feel like here it wasn't so bad because it was just like at the end. If it was in the middle, I bet she could have recovered, but
that last pose is what the audience remembers. And if you can trick us into remembering a really good pose, Robert did this incredibly at the very end. And it's a classic move, the fist up in the air. Like we just completed that. Like you see the power in his body language of like, yeah, we just crushed it. But when you, like Tommy was saying, like when you give it away a little bit that you messed up, it's like, we all saw it, but maybe somebody looked away and then they looked back and saw that you weren't happy at the end. So, we're still learning. But
I always tell my students when I'm teaching dance class, the 2 things you have to do when you're doing a dance combination is tell the story. I do this in theater. So tell the story and hit the button. The most important thing is to hit the button of the number, because like you just said, it's the last thing that people remember. So even if you mess up the entire dance, but then at the end, you give me that Robert, then I'm like, oh, everything that they did was totally on purpose, I guess, because look how confident they just finished. So I will say, as much as I love Danielle and I could tell she was having fun through it, she did mess up in the ending and then didn't, I don't know. So she didn't hit the button is what I'm saying. As much as I want to be biased and just like say I love her and she's perfect, but I do think that that's something that she could work on for sure.
As long as the injury stays somewhat at bay, I think they'll keep getting better. So we'll, hope for the best there. Let's talk about Andy, Richter, and Emma. Haley, kick us off here.
I actually didn't think this dance was as good as his dance last week. I was a little disappointed in his tango frame, especially since all of their TikTok content this week. I thought his frame looked really good. I thought he was getting it, and it was just his arm was low the entire time, which I was like pretty disappointed to see. I love that he gives it. I love that he's really trying. I love that he gives an F. He wants to learn. He loves Emma. I think Emma is such a great teacher, and she did an interview recently and said that the reason she ends up with partners like Andy is because she's so patient. She loves to have the partners who she gets to teach how to dance. She gets to like bring that out of him, and I think it's really beautiful that Andy is like learning to love dance even though he's not the best at it.
He's having so much fun. Like,
he's
what more can you ask?
Fun. Exactly.
That's what Derek was saying. You capture the essence of why the show was created, to see celebrities that you would never see on a dance floor having fun and learning. And Tommy, of course, you were saying earlier that, it wasn't a good dance performance at the end of the day. And that's what Derek is kind of saying. Like, we know, like we understand that this isn't going to be the team that wins the competition, but like, as long as you're here, keep having fun, keep putting your all into it. And that's really all that we can ask for. They had some fun with the props, with the ponchos, with the outfits, with Emma as the news reporter at the very beginning, just like some silly stuff. And that comedy will, I think, carry them a pretty decent way. I don't know how many more weeks than this one, but I would say that they're connecting with the audience obviously well enough to make it past Tommy, this first elimination.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it real. I'm not a fan. Like I'm not into it. And I kind of feel like, if I'm being completely honest, I kind of feel like Emma is just like doing the job. Like, I don't feel like she's like hungry herself is the impression that I get. I feel like she gets like you said, the older person, like the person who has no experience, but and yes, I do think that she's probably a great teacher. Like, that makes total sense. But I feel, she leads the tour. I've seen the tour and she does a great job hosting the tour. I feel like she just like has her job with the Dancing with the Stars world. And to me, it just feels like she's not like pushing.
Yeah,
And
I mean, as Mohammed says, whoop, wrong comment. She knows she's not winning. So I think that she is definitely doing the best that she can with the circumstances that she has, and that's obviously been the case for all of these seasons that we're talking about here. But yeah, and some of the other judges' comments, of course, reflect that as well. Bruno with the zinger of thunder and lightning, the way you tango is a bit frightening. Not a bad line.
yeah,
But
we got to try and give them harder choreo then.
Yeah, don't just make fun of him.
Right.
Give an actual a step that they can be taking that's appropriate for his skill level.
That's exactly what I feel. Like it felt too gimmicky with the costumes. It's like, okay, she has this down to a formula. It feels tired. Like, if I'm being honest, like the Emma with the old person routine feels tired to me. Like,
Sure.
we've seen it year after year, and I just feel like it's like safe. She's clocking in. Again, I haven't listened to I don't know her. I feel kind of bad saying this. This is just my impression. I haven't listened to the interviews. And also, like I said, I think she does a great job hosting the tour. I'm sure she's incredible. She's a great dancer. But I feel like we've seen this the last few years, the same routine, and I'm just not impressed. I'm tired of it. I kind of need her to really be hungry again. That's what I'm looking for. I want all these pros to be hungry.
I do think if they gave her a partner that was at the level of any of these other pros that are made to do well on the show or are likely to do well on the show, I think we would see that, but it's been tough for her to have a chance to showcase that as far as I'm concerned.
That's true.
The Julianne comments here, well, maybe not Julianne specifically. Yeah, I'll put this on Julianne's comments. Haley, she says, your fans at home must be so happy that you didn't have a heart attack. And he responds back saying, okay, what are we trying to say here? Like, I am on the medication.
Julianne is so insane. I love her so much. And it's like, we can have our issues with Julianne's questioning, but you try and do that with cue cards and live television. And also, did you guys not see the tirade years? Like, this is such a vast improvement over the tirade years.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Oh, and also, I did listen to the premiere of the Joey podcast this week, and I thought she came off so well and so intelligent, and honestly, hear me out. Switch Julianne for a judge and bring Derek into the Skybox.
That's Ryan says the exact same thing in the chat.
Wow, Ryan, look at us.
We swapped the positions of the Huff siblings on the show. I don't know if either of you saw this. She did a TikTok this week where you saw it, Tommy?
Yes, I loved it.
Stitched next to a woman on TikTok who was giving loving criticism towards what Julianne was, all of Julianne's comments from last week. And it's every week that these comments come out. But somebody was just like, it's so crazy. She just goes up there and she's like, scoliosis, what's that like? And you're like, excuse me? But she was laughing through watching this TikTok. And it's just like, I think she's in on the joke. It's just, it's crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah, it was very self-aware. I liked that a lot.
So Lauren and Brandon turning out to be standouts of the season. Haley, so far, have you been enjoying these two?
I'm so entranced by her. I think she's so beautiful. I'm just taken by her face to begin with. I think she's so gorgeous, and her quality of movement is so incredible and smooth, and it just feels so effortless. I love a foxtrot. I think Brandon learned so much with Chandler last season, and he's really applying it here, and just believing in her and giving her appropriate content. And I thought it was beautiful and lovely, and probably my second favorite dance of the night.
Wow. High praise.
Yeah. I loved it. But I love a foxtrot.
I love that you were not a dancer growing up, but you have so much knowledge now from watching the show. That's really cool. Yeah, that's very
it's possible my mother took too much Tylenol when she was pregnant with me,
well, let's we're already on Lauren and Brandon. But yeah, they crushed it again. This partnership is getting a lot of praise. Carrie Ann, especially, didn't get to talk about them last week. Doesn't have a whole lot to add besides really good. Bruno says classy. They just both looked incredible. The beautiful like light blue dress.
Oh my God, the
suit.
dress was so gorgeous. And also they did a hilarious TikTok beforehand where it was just like Carrie Ann's back, like, don't do a lift. Don't you dare do a lift. Like, don't lift me off the ground. Like, it was funny. I think their partnership is very like fun. I love how much Brandon's wife loves Lauren. It's like a Five Direction. Oh my God, a Fifth Harmony fan.
We knew what you meant.
Oh gosh.
I have a question for the both of you though.
Yes.
I'm kind of feeling like she has a wall up, and and do you feel like that too, or is that just me like getting that vibe from watching?
I get where you're coming from. I do think maybe it's a bit her personality. I feel like I hadn't really heard of her like before this. Like I knew of Fifth Harmony. I didn't know of her particular. Like I wonder if this is the first time she's kind of being like a star on her own. And it's kind of like a weird place for her. I know that after they did the reunion at the Jonas Brothers concert, there was a lot of awful commentary about what she looks like now as a woman and not a 17-year-old. And I could see that kind of being like something in the back of her head that she's just like not letting go, which is so unfortunate because she's so stunning and it's like she's so talented, and I hate that people are willing to just openly talk about women's bodies like that and just think that they have a right to comment on her.
Yeah, like, and I think she's very aware of, the way that the conversation exists around her, including all of that. And I don't know if that has anything to do with, kind of what you're saying, Tommy, of like, it feels like she's not all the way in yet. But I think that she's getting there. I think that she's definitely like, these two obviously were the last to meet, the last to pair up. She found out that she was going on the show, like the day before GMA or whatever the deal was. So I think we're getting there, but I mean, if nothing else, the natural talent that she brings to the show, she's been performing for years, and me, I don't really care about the experience they come into the show with. I want to see us having fun here, and look, if it's too good to a certain extent, sometimes the audience will chop you back down. I don't think that they are showing too good so far. I think that they are just showing this is good, a good pairing. They're going to be here for a little bit.
Yes, that makes sense.
If not all the way. So Bluffpool, one of the many that I just was waiting for the Glee cast version to come out instead, because there's a lot of Glee covers in tonight's episode.
Also felt too quick for a foxtrot. Like just a hair too quick for a foxtrot. Like I like a really smooth, jazzy foxtrot, and like this white, it was like a little poppy. A
nice story also, just of course, about her grandmother and all that stuff, really, sharing her story and her family story and whatnot. So don't think these two are going anywhere anytime soon. Big improvement this week, of course, for Jordan and Ezra in the scoring, if nothing else, but that is probably because last week, Tommy, their scores did not really reflect how well they did. Maybe it wasn't the best of the night, but it wasn't fives.
This was my favorite dance of the night. So remember, I was like saying how I was watching and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Danielle. She's my favorite. And then someone else came on. They were the someone else.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually my favorite. She was so, oh my gosh, something about her just like came off so confident, and just the choreo was so good. It really clicked tonight. And I was like, this is why I love the show. This number tonight was like, oh, this is why I love Dancing with the Stars. That's what it did for me. Oh, so good.
I think Haley Ezra, really took in the criticism from last week. I saw a TikTok or two again about him saying like, I hear you. I get it. You think I didn't do enough or give her enough last week. We'll fix that this week. And you could tell even from the package at the beginning that he was a little bit more locked in. And then I think that was reflected in the performance.
Yeah, I think when the first week, he just kind of was enamored by the fact that his partner like gave an F about this experience and was so excited that she had so many tricks in the bag. And like, I do believe she was given salsa because salsa has the most freedom to do those kinds of tricks. There's like less, not qualifications, but like you're allowed to get a little more free in the salsa. So we're throwing flips in. We see that a lot with gymnasts. They get a lot of salsas right in the beginning there so that they can do those flips and things. this was so high and tight and so beautiful. They both took in exactly what the judges were saying. I think Jordan pointed out, she's like, I'm great at taking feedback. I love that Ezra was also great at taking feedback and didn't like take it so personally that he's not doing a good job. I thought it was like chock full of beautiful jive content. Somebody commented on the pants. I love those pants. I love when they wear those pants for the jive. Derek did like a seminar a couple seasons ago, right? Why he says that those pants are great for dances because they really like show hip action and leg action. And I thought it was just like so stunning. I was so impressed with the improvement from both of them.
Tommy, the leap that Jordan does over Ezra was kind of giving me something that I would expect to see you doing somewhere out there.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, they were just so good. I have a question for both of you again. So
Yes.
do you think that last week Ezra was strategically holding back with choreo, knowing that it was the first week and therefore really was under it? Then it was very underwhelming in result. But do you think it was more strategic or lazy or what? What do we think it was that
I think it was a pure music rights issue. It's funny, my husband pointed this out, was that her like set decoration and her lighting was so underwhelming compared to everyone else.
Okay.
And they kind of, when they released the songs, hers was the only song that wasn't quite released yet. Like, I think it took a long time for them to get the rights to it so that they, I don't think they were able to get there with the music and then the way that like every other couple had the opportunity to. Like, it just like wasn't, I think it was a complete music issue.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I don't want to keep
going on,
hammering home on this, but I think a little bit of the inexperience as a pro. This is only his second season. He didn't have much time last season, and I think it does take time. He's still young. I think he's obviously been dancing his whole life, and that's not to say he's not a good. Of course, he's an amazing dancer, but it takes time to like learn how to teach and learn how to highlight things about your partner. I mean, your partner's coming in; they don't have the experience. Luckily, he has a partner here who is going to be able to do a whole lot throughout the season, but you have to start slow. I think, he definitely jumped in a little bit too much with the tricks and didn't keep it as simple as it should have been the first week. And he got that feedback all across the internet, took it to heart. And this one turned out great. Carrie Ann loved it. Made some comments about how last week you guys were amazing too, but scores, Bruno and Derek did not reflect that. So a little bit of shade there.
Yeah.
I don't know what Derek was going for when his one word was content.
I know.
I think it's just that it had so much more jive, like actual dance content than the salsa had last week, where like the salsa didn't have nearly as much salsa content, where this had jive content.
Right. Okay. Well, let's keep on moving here. Corey and Jenna, one of our eliminated teams of the week. Nobody is surprised. Unfortunately, it just felt pretty expected. Obviously, they have not been performing the best. Corey, I think, was doing his best as far as the showmanship aspect of it all. And Jenna, of course, doing what you do when you have a partner that maybe is not going to keep up with you as much and really putting on a show around him. It was tough, I guess, to see Corey talking about, I don't want to be at the bottom every week. To which I was like, well, you may not be at the bottom every week. You may not be here every week. But
I know, it was like, oh. Did you think it was funny how Derek, to specifically Andy, Corey, and Baron, was like, well, I hope you're here next week to apply this information. It's like,
just
okay.
for the people that it might have been necessary to tell that to.
Yeah.
Almost like he had an idea of who could be going. But yeah, Tommy, it was, again, he tried.
Jenna kind of bothers me. I'm going to be honest. Like, she's not my favorite pro. But one thing I will say about her that I really love and respect is that she, despite the fact that she's been here a very long time, she is still hungry. She is always like really just like giving it. And so I do appreciate that. But something about her I just don't connect with. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on what it is.
I'm right there with you, honestly. Like
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan by any means.
I don't know what it is. It feels like a little pick me. Like
she's good.
I think she's too hungry.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, and
yes.
I like I loved Joey last season, obviously, as
Yep.
like a big bachelor girly. And I think that Jenna was really a good partner for him to push him. Like when you were talking about Emma and how she's like not quite hungry, I was like, yeah, like I feel like if Joey had Emma, he probably wouldn't have won. Like he definitely won because of Jenna. But yeah, sometimes it feels like she's too hungry, I guess, and that's so unfair of me to say.
It's so unfair for me. I'm like, this one's too hungry. This one's not hungry enough. Like, I'm like, who? This is ridiculous. Who am I? But
the vibe of what they were going for, Jenna kept talking about, and then Julianne brought it back up at the end, hoping that this went viral. I'm like, don't tell me you want it to go viral because it's not going to go viral.
I hate on this show when they talk about viral moments or like making stuff viral. Like it drives me crazy.
Like, Whitney and Danny last season, we know like the leg pull, like that went viral. Let it happen naturally. Don't tell me that you want this to go viral.
Totally.
And what about this was going to go viral?
Like that it's like the worst performance of the night, like that everybody was dancing around him, and it was just like, yeah, somebody in the comments said that Liv said it, it was a bad call to bring the troop in because to dance around them, because it just like made him look so much worse. Again, I'm gonna be a bee about it. Give me cha-cha content. I did not get enough cha-cha content.
Yeah. I said this last week. I'm not sure if it's that mean, but Jenna's so excited this season because her niece Haley is in the troop, and was spelled differently than you, but
spelled differently.
She's gonna have more time to dance with Haley now with her niece.
Adorable.
Because
I love that.
The pros, they get eliminated if you don't know, and they will go on to basically be additional members of the troupe and be in other performances, and they don't go anywhere. They don't leave the show. They just stick around and stand in the skybox for throughout the week. So yeah, not a whole lot else to add for Corey and Jenna. It was probably the most expected outcome, that we could have gotten.
Jenna, if you're still listening to this,
yes, she is.
What I want to see from you in one of the troop numbers, I would love to see an Argentine tango with you and Haley, kind of like we saw with Derek and Mark last year. Like, I know you can choreograph with another woman because I saw you do it with JoJo, who was there in the audience tonight.
She was there tonight, yes. Allison Hannigan, JoJo, and Joey were at the table together.
The Joes.
Yeah.
So give me some of that.
Yes.
That's what I want.
All right. Haley, are you a watcher of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
I am not, which is going to be tough for me coming up on this next Bachelorette season.
You might have to binge.
I will have to like properly give my opinions on the matter. Jen, I feel like is one who never came across my desk. Like just from being in the world of reality television, like a lot of these people come to me. I don't come to them. Jen is not somebody who really entered my sphere much. You know who did enter my sphere? Jan. Big Swiftie over here. I was very excited to see him as a pro. Here's another one who I think took the feedback he received last week, put a lot more true quick step content into this dance. I thought it was a great quick step. Somebody asked earlier, I think he got a comment about a lift. I thought you could use a lift in like a quick step, but I guess not. A lot of the true ballroom dances you can't do a lift in.
Yeah. Yeah, but he gets a pass here because he's new. So Carrie Ann is going to give him, I guess, a 1 week grace period before she starts docking points. I got to say, Tommy, I don't know what you think about this opinion here, but this couple doing nothing for me. I just like, it's just, they're there. And I'm just kind of like, all right, let's just keep watching. Hopefully they give decent performances until whatever week they end up going home. I mean, this isn't going to end up being the winning team. It's just creating such little spark for me. And it's not that they don't have like a connection, but I think, of course, Jan is new to the show. So I think he's still kind of figuring out the format of how this all works on Dancing with the Stars, not just dancing, for Taylor Swift. And Jen is obviously good, but just like, I don't know, just it's not sparking for me.
That's exactly how I feel. I don't know what it is, because she is good, like you said, but I'm just like, okay, like they're right in the middle. If anything, they're closer to the bottom of my list. It's just not doing it for me.
Yeah. I don't know. like
I think
they're
it was
gonna have a Taylor Swift song at some point, so that'll highlight.
I think it was a really tough move for Jen to have two real housewives of Mormon lives on this show on this season.
Yes.
Because she just like doesn't have as much of a striking personality as Whitney does.
Yep.
Like, love Whitney or hate Whitney, like she has personality. Where like Jen, I'm finding is very like subdued and like I need more from her. Jan, I think he's like finding his footing and he's like not quite sure where to go here, but I hope they are able to figure it out before they get voted off.
What was her last week's dance? Their last week's dance?
They also did a salsa that had like too many lifts in it.
Yeah. What song was it? I can't remember.
I think it was a Bad Bunny song, and I'm only familiar with cinematography and
did you like it or not? Or
I remember liking them better last week than I did this week. Last week I was like, oh my gosh, she just had a freaking baby 2 months ago. Like, that's insane. She's 3 kids. She's so young. Like, I remember being way more impressed last week. This week I was like, they're doing absolutely nothing for me.
I thought the 8 was crazy from Carrie Ann.
Unhinged.
Like, this was good.
That was her being like, no, guys, I don't hate women. See? I'm giving her an 8.
I mean, like, this was like, as soon as I saw this dance, I'm like, again, like pretty good. It seems like 7 is the average for the week. 7 is like the bar. Like, if you did okay, you got 7s.
Yep.
But then, the 8 came in, and I was like, no, Carrie Ann, calm down.
I was like, girl, like what?
I love it.
Like, are the cold meds still like there? Like, what's happening here? Like, it was really like, oh yeah, this is the Carrie Ann we know and love.
Right. Remember when we just missed her so much? I mean, I stand by.
But that's the reason we missed her, because she was the unhinged bar, and now Derek and Bruno can level out.
And now now Bruno's becoming the unhinged bar by like by pressing the wrong numbers, and which is not super new, but like can't find his paddles. I'm like, where did it go? You only have so many paddles right below you. There's probably not even a 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, you're only using 3 paddles.
Right.
The entire night. Just keep them.
Keep your 7 right next to you. It's not that hard.
Get a pocket. Like, put up like a little kangaroo pocket in the front of your vest, and like.
Just keep the 7 on your lap. It's the one you're using the most throughout the night. Like, it doesn't have to go very far.
Yeah, but he stands up so much that he'll go flying into the audience. That's probably what happens. That's
true. You hit the floor. We don't need those mic issues. Fair enough. Let's talk about Robert and Whitney, our leading contenders by, consensus amongst, the panel last week, maybe the panel this week as well. Tommy, it's just, as the judges point out, this natural charisma that Robert has. And honestly, I'll say, just to start off the commentary here, not last week was better. This week was good. Last week was better.
I thought this week was actively bad. With so much love in my heart.
Yeah, it wasn't last week.
It wasn't last week, and like, because it was just such a shock last week.
Yeah,
about how good he was. I think Whitney can tend to rest on what she did last week and be like, that'll carry us over. We're gonna do fine. And I thought that really carried over into the choreography, because last week we were all just so impressed. We didn't realize that like wasn't that much jive content.
Yeah.
This week she tried to get away with it, and they're like, no. We need more tango content. But like, Robert wasn't like that great at the tango content. I love Robert. I think he's fabulous. What a wonderful young man. He is using his incredible platform to talk about women's health and like what his sister has faced in her battles with, I think, endometriosis. What a lovely young man. And I hope he goes far, and I hope he is around forever. I just thought this week was like not good.
And Francesca points out, I hate side-by-sides in every dance.
Me too.
It has been every dance.
Let's do a ballroom competition. You know what I mean? Like, give me ballroom.
Yeah, that was weird.
But they are, still, I would say, the front runners. Tommy, any, I don't know, hot takes on the performance? I'm assuming you agree that last week was better. It just feels like this week wasn't.
I feel like he wasn't sitting in the pocket is the best way to put it. Like, there were some moments that he did the choreo, but it wasn't like planted is kind of how I felt. And I think he's great. I think he's awesome. He's got the best performance. And the fact that he's not a dancer, it's so impressive to see what he's doing. And I think Whitney is an angel on earth. I think that she's like, I don't know. I just love her. I love her energy. I love watching her. I think she does great choreo. Except for, I agree that middle section was so weird, the side by side.
Like I loved the choreography there, like the boop
Yep.
boop boop boop. I loved it. I didn't think it had a place in this dance. Like that for me, it was like a move in a freestyle.
Yep.
I also like, I don't think that this was their fault, but I thought this song at the beginning was really clunky.
Well, that's what I'm talking about when he wasn't sitting in the pocket.
Yeah.
It was like the song was happening, but he like, it was almost like he was missing the music. It was weird.
I don't think it was his fault, maybe, but like,
right.
Like I thought the song just like it turned into a different song. Like
yes.
later on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I don't want to say he seemed underprepared this week, but maybe like a little intimidated with the way that he knew he was being watched so closely because he's the front runner. Whitney said we have a target on our back now. Like that's, you know, those are fighting words.
I thought that was so funny. I'm like, this isn't Big Brother.
I know, right?
It's not. No one's voting you out.
We're on the block.
Honestly,
you have to win the veto, Robert. You have to.
Well, good luck beating Morgan. But the target on their back right now, if anything, is from production, who are going to want to hammer them back down to earth a little bit to not make it seem like this is such a runaway for them. Right. The scores that they get this week, I lost them, but I think it was 8-7-7, maybe. No.
The 8 was crazy to me. That was like, come on, like even the 7s, I was like, I don't feel that way, but okay, you know it, I don't. The 8, like
8-7-7.
Come on, like no way.
Like
Carrie Ann was giving that 8 from last week, like that. She was like, "This is the score I am giving for last week because you were
right." We want to give them room to grow. That's the whole thing. So when it's not what they're going to be doing all season, which is going to be a lot more really good performances, then bring the scores down. It's okay. We can live with it. Derek's word for them was, of course, crikey.
I mean, like, what is that giving us? Like, I was getting.
Robert loved it. Robert.
Of course, Robert loved it. He's
ran
like
over.
He's like a sweet baby angel. He loves everything. This is the best thing that's ever happened to him.
Yeah,
I was annoyed because at least some of the one words beforehand, like, gave me information. Like, sure, when he said content, it like was one word, but it gave me information. This was just like he's
thinking, how can I be silly?
He was just like, oh, I'm in on the joke. Like,
yeah. That made me angry, honestly. The cranky. I was like, I hate this. I hate this.
Cranky, more like cringy, am I right?
Yep.
Anyway, Elaine and Allen, this was fun. Allen is so fun with this specific type of partner, and I guess that is just me saying an older woman. I don't know. He has had these partners before, and he does so many fun routines. Kind of, I feel like maybe, Tommy, Allen is doing what you wish Emma was doing with partners that like don't seem like front runners of the competition. I know Elaine's obviously more than Andy is just because she is a dancer and this is coming naturally, but like Allen is just having fun out there no matter what. And
yeah, I thought, you know, it's funny. They walked out in the cheerleader costumes and I was like, oh, I'm going to hate this. And then I loved it. And I was like, oh, okay, this was fun. It was campy. It leaned into it. It had, you know, great content. I thought it was just a good time, but you can tell that she wants to be here, that she's like fighting for it. And I don't know. I liked them. They're not like one of my faves, if I'm being honest, but I liked them a lot. And I liked this performance.
Does anyone want to bail me out of not knowing who Tony Basil is? I mean, look,
you are young.
Yeah.
Than us.
A little bit. By a little bit.
Tommy, what year were you born, Tommy?
I'm 35 years old, but
okay,
I don't know who Tony Basil is either, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I guess you guys didn't watch enough of Much Music's pop-up videos in the days because that
I'm so sorry.
Information.
But I was cracking up at like how Tony Basil walks in and Elaine she
didn't know who she was.
She didn't know what to say. She goes, "You are my icon." And I was like, what does that mean? And you don't know.
To bring it back to Big Brother, it's what a lot of players in the house will say when a legend comes in and they're like, who are you? how am I supposed to be reacting right now? We see that a lot.
Also,
Oh.
like, how hilarious is it that, like, whoever it was had to call up Tony Basil and say, "Hey, Tony Basil, we need you for a segment on Dancing with the Stars." She says, "Great, what is it?" And she says, "One-hit wonders." Tony
Wonders.
knows she's a one-hit wonder, but to be
So
like,
rude.
you are the most one-hit wonder,
I know.
and you're available. Come on down to the studio, and we need you to actively say you are a one-hit wonder. And Tony's like, "How much am I being paid?" And they said $2,500. And she says, "All right,
I'm in.
in."
Ryan's
I'm
saying Tony
so
embraces
good.
her one-hit wonder status, so that's good to hear.
I had the same thought. I was like, "Ooh, this is a little insulting." Oh man, that's great though.
Carrie Ann gave them a big ol' "Awoo" was her one word. She was
It
just
wasn't
so
a
hyped
word.
on the
That was just
performance.
that was a noise. I guess that Bruno used up a lot of 2 words. And I have a question, and I don't know if like you guys can like remember back. Did Hannah Brown do like a cheerleader-esque dance at some point, like in her
That sounds
freestyle?
familiar.
Like, did Alan have to wear this outfit before? Is
Oh,
what I'm asking.
I don't know, but they should recycle them in a couple of weeks when Dylan Efron does the High School Musical number.
You're so
Disney
right.
night.
I'm gonna do a quick Google search to see.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Dylan's totally gonna do.
He's gonna have to, and I'm already devastated because I won't be here Disney night. So
I will be though.
Yes, Kelly will be back. I'm devastated, but of course I'll watch and report back.
Where will
next
you
week.
be?
Just busy,
Oh.
getting ready for something, a little busy.
Ah,
But live show in New York that week for RHAP. So everybody, come hang out in New York City. Maybe Tommy will pop up.
yeah, that would be fun. When is it?
The week of October 6th.
Okay, I will not be here either.
Well, Tommy won't be here.
I won't.
Well, let's unless anybody else has anything on Elaine and Allen. Again, it was a lot of fun. Pom-poms everywhere, especially in the skybox. They are holding their own, keeping their spot in this competition alive. I wasn't sure if the fan base was going to be there just because I don't know what the Elaine Hendricks fan base is like, but it voted for her to get through week 1. So
I think all of the people who are voting for Danielle are also slipping votes to Elaine.
Yeah.
And Allen has a lot of fans too, just
That's
to throw
true.
that out there.
Yeah.
A lot of Allen fans out there. And, it makes sense. Our second eliminated couple, I can't be outwardly devastated enough, again, that Britt is out so early in the season. Yeah. I don't want to hear it from anybody online about, oh, she's probably fine because now she can go on her honeymoon. Like,
no, she wants this. She wants this so bad
to be here.
You could tell in her eyes, she was like crying, and Baron kept being like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, he knows how bad she wants this. Talk about hunger. This girl's hungry. Give her, give her somebody.
Give her the winner. Give her the ringer. Like, what are we doing? This is another season where she goes out early. It's been so many seasons, and like, at least for Emma, you can say she got her win, a little bit of something there. Britt hasn't gotten her win. She's still waiting, and she has put in the work. She's put in the time. She has been here. Get her that good partner. And I really thought coming into the season that this could be a top tier pair. I don't know. Sometimes the athletes do well. I thought that the personality I saw from Baron in a couple of interviews seemed like people could connect with it. But as like the week was going on, I saw a lot of people speculating that maybe he wasn't going to be that high in the vote. We'll talk about it a little bit later. We saw
no filmed content from one of the Dancing with the Stars studios.
We didn't see. Say again?
In their package, like it was only from the high school gym.
Right,
we didn't see anything from like the actual Dancing with the Stars studio, which made me a little suspect.
They did a podcast together this week. Britt was on Baron's podcast, but yeah, maybe they didn't have enough time in the studio. Tommy, this couple just, or this pair, Baron specifically, of course, another one that was trying, but I was worried watching this performance, for the fact that they could very easily go home this week.
Yeah.
And they did.
I will say, like, I think I said before, but like, I didn't think it was as bad as I kind of liked it. I did. I thought that, like, I thought he just had something about him that was really suave and smooth. And I just kind of liked that when they were doing, I don't even know what they're called. Cause yes, I'm a dancer, but I'm not a ballroom dancer. So I don't know these technical terms. Haley, you might even know them way better. But like the way that they were gliding across the floor, and the arms were going, and the feet, and the legs, and the body, and I was like, oh, I'm loving this. This is great. And then they messed up, and then it went how it went afterwards. But I just thought that they had a lot more potential. So I love Britt. So I was really hoping that they would continue.
Like, truly demonic to give them a samba in week 2. It is a notoriously hard dance. I feel like they haven't even learned the basics of they haven't learned the basics of like ballroom or the Latin styles yet. Really, like what did they have last week? Do we remember?
Last week they had a cha-cha-cha. Yeah, so You Can't Touch This.
So maybe he did have like a bit of a foundation of a Latin dance, but like not enough.
No.
Not enough. I felt really bad, and I do think he probably like didn't have the votes, but if he gave like a really incredible performance, I think that could have saved him. But it just like he had the most noticeable mistake the entire episode, and so it's hard to be like, hey, I'm gonna give that guy my vote.
And his outfit was so nothing. It was like a black shirt and black pants or jeans, maybe not jeans, with like an open silver like sparkly shirt on top of it. I was like, I understand that like the vibe, it kind of matched Britt, but it just felt like there was no effort in that one. And I'm not usually critiquing the fashion on this show because they usually kill it, but I was just a little taken aback by that. And then Carrie-Ann says, obviously this was tough. The mistake took you out of it. The beginning was smooth, but not really enough for them to counter what they ended up seeing towards the end of it, which were Carrie-Ann's first boos of the season. So they were coming inevitably. But then I was genuinely surprised when they get 6s. The critiques were giving 5s. I thought maybe even 4s.
Yeah.
And then they get
100%. The scoring is so weird. And I know they score on like a person to person kind of. Yeah. But like, let's bring back the 4s. Let's bring back 3s. Who cares?
Yeah.
I
agree.
Probably, if there was ever a week, would have been last week. And of course we did get some 4s last week, but I don't know. They made it feel like such a different vibe. So that is, again, our other eliminated team here. Same thing. We'll see Britt in the ballroom throughout the season, whether it's troop numbers or just in other pairs and all that kind of stuff. So
I love
that. Whitney and Mark, Haley, the other half of the representation from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Whitney.
Yeah, so I thought it was really interesting in Mark, or in their like pre-dance package. Mark was kind of, and I love hearing Mark talk about dance. Like he's so informative. I love when he judged last season. Like he just like makes me understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I thought him talking about the cha-cha was so compelling this week. And he said like, it's important to have those straight legs and arms and everything. So because like the cha-cha-cha can look like wild if you don't have those elements. I thought this cha-cha looked a little wild. Like I didn't find it as like neat and clean as we saw last week in the tango. I love a tango, so I'm always partial to those, but like I thought all of those lines were hit really beautifully, where like this cha-cha-cha just like wasn't, it just felt like very chaotic.
I felt like Whitney was running past Mark at every turn. I felt like she is so eager to do well in this, and it felt like she was just running away from him, and he had to kind of rein her in a little bit. And like, look, she's good. She's a dancer. She was a dancer, in college, all this stuff. We've gotten the story so far. So I feel like she's obviously excited. She's talking about all this feedback she's gotten that's been so good so far. But I think we, saw another team who did really well the first week that just kind of lost it and maybe did a little bit too much the second week here.
Totally. Like Robert and Whitney and Mark were almost like thrown off by the fact that they did so well the first week that they didn't really have much room to go up from there. And so it kind of hampered their dance this week. And I thought she was good, but it was just, again, it just felt like too much.
Do either of you feel like they are one of those couples that are missing the chemistry?
Honestly, I quite like their chemistry. I was really surprised surprised that I like it.
Cool.
I think Mark is having fun that Whitney is good, and I think Whitney's having fun that Mark is actually like a bit of a weirdo. Like, because Whitney seems like a bit of a weirdo too. I really am enjoying their TikTok content. Like, I think they're really fun in those moments. But yeah, like I feel like Mark, I hold on such a pedestal, and maybe it's just because Whitney's energy is so different from Charlie D'Amelio's.
Yeah.
That it's just like, and that's our kind of our last like comparison.
Yep.
Yes, Anna, Danny Dyer from Love Island. So that like they just have such different energy, and I feel like Mark has really different energy with both of them.
Yes.
I might have swapped Mark with Alix and Whitney with Val if I was casting. I'm not sure if that's going to be a popular take, but maybe a little bit.
I think I would have been disappointed in that because like I don't care about Alix and I really love Mark. Not that I'm just so like enamored with Whitney, but like Whitney seems fun.
I feel like I could be totally off on this. I don't know that I see this as even like top 3 likely to win the season just for this pair to make, early calls here. And that's crazy to say with Mark Ballas, who always finishes first, second, or third for the majority of the time. Like Whitney's obviously so good, but I don't know. Something is holding me back from feeling like they could be a real contender.
Maybe that's what I'm feeling, because I'm like, something's not clicking. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not the chemistry. Maybe it's just like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on what it is, but
she's very excited. But what? She's very excited to be here, but it's just like maybe a little
Yeah, I really want to see her in like a Viennese waltz or a foxtrot where she has to rein in that excitedness.
Yes.
I think the tango did well for her in that because she kind of had to like play a character that was more like cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah. Yep. And like, I don't know, I'm not trying to be too harsh on her, but like I feel like a lot of what the audience connects with is a celebrity that is humble and showing growth as the season goes on, and she just kind of knows she's good already. So we're not seeing that like, oh, I really had to push myself this week. Like a little bit of that was in the package, but I don't know if I believe it again because I know she's already so good. So I think that also contributes to why a lot of people that come on the show as dancers struggle to connect with the audience, but I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. Plenty more season to go, and they're probably not going anywhere. It is Mark Ballas after all. Hilaria and Gleb, Tommy, obviously she is crushing it. She is a dancer. So not surprised that they made it through based on that, but I just didn't know if the fan base was going to be there. But hey, they made it through and they're pretty close to the top of that leaderboard. They're third place right now.
Yeah. I'm not into them. I don't know why. I'm not into these ones either. I feel
neither of these people are charming to me.
Yes, that's what it is. Like, I'm just not connecting with either of them.
Like, I think Gleb should have been done after his Gleb had so much goodwill after his Shangela season that he should just called it. Like he's just dug himself a hole ever since. Yep. Hilaria, I just don't think anyone really cares about.
Yep.
And also the song is deeply overused on this show.
Yep.
What is love?
I've seen 45 different dances to this song.
Yeah. And there was a lift Carrie Ann called out. Come on, Gleb. You know better.
Gleb does not care. He gave oh god, what was her name last year? Brooks. What was the dance they were doing? I can't I think they were doing a foxtrot week 2, and he let her do the tango hold, which Derek called him out on. So I don't think he actually gives an F about proper technique sometimes.
I mean, how many mirror balls does he have? 0. So there's that. Came close with Shangela, but did not get it, obviously. I don't know. Every time that they come out onto the stage, I'm like, I know this is going to be good. They are a really good match as dance partners. Like they are just matching each other every step of the way. And she is good because she is a dancer. Like she has danced her whole life.
I just don't care. And that's the thing is I was asking you, Tommy, earlier, if you care if they have dance experience. And I think she's such an interesting case because she has literal ballroom experience. She has literal competition experience. But I deeply don't care because I don't think she's gonna get the votes to win in the end. She's not. It doesn't matter if she's gonna be if she could be a pro next season. I don't think that she has enough of an audience to vote for her, nor do I think she's going to pick up a large audience in this show to like, so I'm just like, I don't care. Like, and have a lovely tango while you're here.
Yeah.
And I thought it was rude of the production. They know what we're saying. They know we wanted them gone. And so that's why they're in the bottom 3, even if they weren't like in that way in the votes.
You're so right.
I do wonder how many more weeks they will survive. I mean, the high scores, like they are going to matter as other couples are not getting as high of scores. Of course, you still need a powerful vote from the audience to take you deeper in, but like people that don't know her might just say, oh, she's good. And if there are Gleb fans out there still, I don't know. It could go longer than maybe we initially expected.
Well, I think she's like technically brilliant. I just like, again, don't feel like it's like giving me the vibe I want, I guess. Like I'm not feeling it.
They might get the first perfect tens, but like first perfect score of the season, and we're all going to sit there and be like, okay,
great,
cool.
I don't know what, I don't feel that from them. I don't know. I'm just not impressed with their dancing either, honestly.
Yeah, it's just hard to connect with them. Unfortunately for them. All right. Next up, of course, we have Dylan Efron and Danny Carrigaw. I can never say her last name right. I'm sorry. But the joke, of course, is this week we're going to try to button up Dylan's shirt a little bit. And no, that doesn't last very long. So why can't Dylan Efron say choreography is the first question. Choreography.
I wonder if it's one of those words he's only ever read and never heard out loud.
It seemed like it. We talked about Dylan a lot at the beginning of the podcast, and he's moving those hips. He's trying, but it's just we're having a hard time seeing him fully break out of his shell. Got 2 7s and a 6 this week, which I thought made a lot of sense. There's potential here. Again, like there is something there that Danny can work with. And I do think, we're going to see the most that we can out of him by the time the season comes to an end. Cause I think they're going to get voted through probably up until at least the semifinals. Like they're in there with a big fan base for Dylan and, some moves, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Daniella too. Like Daniella, for me, she's the pro. Like the pro of all pros. I'm with you.
I'm with you.
So if she's whoever she's paired with, I'm rooting for them is kind of how I look at every season. I just love her work. I think that she's just so creative, and I'm year after year so impressed with what she comes up with.
Yeah.
So it's, it's not the best match. It feels a little like it's not clicking right now, but I'm hopeful. I feel like if anybody can get back on track, it's her. So I'm excited for them.
Haley, we have a commentary from Carrie Ann, who makes the crowd at home go wild, saying that for Dylan, it's not just thrusting, but there's motion in the ocean.
Boy, do I never want to hear that again. I was really impressed with Dylan's hip action this week. I thought he did a really good job with that. I think he improved a lot from last week. I do think, like we said at the beginning of this podcast, he's very much holding back, and that's the only thing holding him back is like himself. It's like he needs to go to a rage room or like something and just like let go. I want to see Pasha come in and like talk to him or like show him like how he should be moving or whatever. Like I just need something more from him. I like deeply believe he has it in him. He just like needs to let go and not be embarrassed and not like think he's going to look bad, because like he doesn't look bad. Like it would be so much more engaging if he just gave it to us.
Yeah, I feel like I talked about this last week on my podcast. We were talking about the show. I feel a little bit like he is gay baiting. Like I almost feel like it's like strategically trying to be sexy to build a gay fan base.
I mean, it's not helping that the show is also like last week Dylan had his shirt off. Isn't that right, Bruno? Like,
yeah, they started with the drinking of the cups last week with him and Bruno, right? Wasn't that like? I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, this is. It just felt really cheap, and I didn't. Something about it felt icky, and I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but it just feels like it's.
It would be nice to see more that like they can do throughout the season, obviously, besides just him taking his shirt off. Like, no one's complaining when he takes his shirt off, but it can't just be that.
I'm actually going to complain. As your local neighborhood prude, I just like want everyone to leave their clothes on. I think Dylan is so stunningly beautiful. Like, I don't like when they take their shirts off on the show. Like, I just don't like it. Like,
that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I hate to break it to you.
I know, but it's just like those shirts were like so beautifully crafted, and like I don't just leave it on, please.
Yeah,
It adds nothing for me to be like, oh, here we go. That's the move. It's like I don't care.
Yeah.
What was that, Tommy?
Cupcake Monster wrote, he's been accused of queer baiting. I didn't know that, but that makes sense to me because like that's how I feel. I do. So, and he doesn't need it. Like we saw this week, he's had the hip action going on. He's actually he could do well, but you got to commit. You got to like actually don't rely on the fact that you're a conventionally good-looking person. Like that, we don't care about that. We want to see you dance. We want to see you grow. We want to see you commit to the competition. I don't want to see you drinking from a Sunday or a rupee afloat with Bruno. That's not what I want to see.
It's insane that his first two dances, his first two songs are Milkshake and Macarena. The Macarena.
I mean, it's too on the nose. Like I get it, but so
such a strange start to your season. So maybe things will shift a little bit as we go forward. Again, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. So we'll have more time to watch them maybe grow and maybe leave the shirt on for Haley. But our final couple here to talk about today, they closed out the show, and I was confused as to why they closed out the show because, production knows what dance they're getting out of these couples. And I'm not saying that I didn't like it, but I'm saying they got 6s, and usually they put, a team at the end of the show that's going to get some really good scores. But not even a 7 to be found here for Scott and Riley. Again, just seems like maybe the pair is not working as well as we would hope. Both of them very talented individually, but something is not connecting with the judges, maybe a little bit with the audience, but I don't know.
Yeah. They're not a great match. They're not bringing out the best in each other. Like, I feel like he has a very unique stature, and I don't know, something about their partnership. I feel like he's not embracing that. It's almost like he needs like more of a woman, if that is fair to say. I just feel like
to have like a Daniella to really like push him and be like, okay, this is how we're moving. Like, let's do this. I
try not to pay too much attention to the age, but like that was one of the things that I thought about early on for them, just because it's not like the biggest age gap, but I just, I don't know. It just stands out a little bit to them. Just, you want partners to connect as even friends before they become partners. And I was like a little bit of like, can this man that's in his like mid 30s connect with, 20-year-old Riley Arnold? I don't know. I could just be overthinking all of that, but it's
completely agree.
It's just something that's not clicking. They seem to be having fun. The TikToks are a lot of fun. And the performances have been perfectly good. Like the sixes aren't bad. You just want to see, continued improvement. And you can tell that even the judges are like a little hesitant going forward with what they have to offer us this season.
I thought they were definitely better than last week. I thought he was like nailing the moves a little bit better. Again, I think God, I'm just like repeating myself. Wasn't enough cha-cha content there for me. I wanted more.
Yep.
I did love their bit throughout the entire episode of their little glasses. I was hoping that they'd wear the glasses during the whole dance, but they did not.
Yeah. Obviously, of course, they're all dressed in blue, and that works, for a song called Blue, which Alfonso like stumbled over getting the name of the song out because it does sound a little strange to Blue Tabadi. I don't know how many words to keep going there. But Julianne, just to bring it back to Julianne's awkward question asking, not that this was the most awkward question, but what does it mean to be taking up space? And Scott answered it with such like a broad view of like, well, in the world, when you take up space, it means to really like own. Like, I don't know if that's exactly where we were going with this conversation, but hey, hopefully things keep going well for them, or going better for them into the coming weeks, because Ryan and Sharpay, the dynamics could be there. We just haven't seen it all the way. All right, Haley, I teased this earlier. Our friends over at Pop Culture Data put together these charts. Hopefully you can see them well enough. Zoom in a little bit if you need to on the YouTube, but the numbers are pretty clear as to who the fan base is connecting with so far. I don't know if this is any kind of like information you don't want. I don't feel free to skip ahead.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see Danielle.
Bananas. These numbers, like bananas. So happy for Danielle. So impressed with it. Count me amongst one of those new followers for Robert Irwin, because I want to see the koala bears. I like them.
For those at home that are not, or not watching the video alongside us, we're looking at the top 10 in Instagram and TikTok growth, follower count growth so far this season. We have Robert with a pretty significant lead in first place, followed by Danielle Fishel, followed by a pretty big gap in the numbers from Robert to Danielle, and then from Danielle to Whitney, and then you have some of the pros mixed in here. Whitney Carson's up next on the list, then Dylan Efron, Alex Earl, Haley from the Troop, who has been getting a very big bump from her aunt Jenna, Uncle Val, followed by Jenna Johnson, then Jen Affleck and Jan make out the top 10 here. So a lot of pros on this list, Troop even. But the celebrities here, Robert, Danielle, Whitney, Dylan, I don't know, could be an indication of who we expect to see deeper into the season.
Probably. That makes sense.
And then let's keep on going. The next group, you have Daniella, followed by Val, then Riley, who already has like over 1 million followers. Mark, Ballas, Carter from the Troop, Scott Hoying, Elaine, Emma Slater. We're getting into like, somewhat of irrelevant numbers here as far as what impact it's going to have on the show. Then Brandon, then Ezra, then Jordan, Hilaria, Britt, Andy Richter, Julianne Hough has gained almost 5,000 followers. Look at her go. Anya from the Troop, Alfonso, Lauren. But let's go to the last slide. Haley, this slide is going to make you especially happy. Look at last place there.
Hilarious. Like I don't mean to say that's hilarious, but like that's kind of like rich. I also think there's like, this is tied to a lot of bad PR coming out about him from Brooks Nader on her reality show. Like I think that is part of it.
Gleb with negative. He's lost nearly 4,000 followers since the season began. So I definitely agree with you, Haley, that that's a lot to do with it. But look at the other bottom two besides Gleb, or the other two members of this bottom three. Corey and Barron did not get the votes, and they did not get the followers. So
can you go back one more slide? So Lauren, that surprises me.
Yeah, Lauren is the next lowest celebrity, if that is any indication of where votes could be going.
Right.
I would be surprised if Lauren is the next out for sure, but she also could just be coming in with an already huge following. I don't know.
That's surprising to me, but we talked about like how I feel like she's got a wall up, and I wonder if other people are sensing that as well.
Could be. Andy Richter above her, Hilaria above Andy. So I don't know, just, some interesting content to think through. Pop culture data, if you want to check that out yourself and dive deeper into the numbers. But I think that's just about it for our week. Next week is TikTok week.
I have one more question.
Please.
Okay. Can we talk about Sasha? What's going on with him popping in and out of the show? Like,
are you not enjoying the TikTok corner?
What do you mean?
Sasha's live on TikTok every week. If you want to get the behind the scenes action from Dancing with the Stars, basically they didn't have a celebrity for him this season. And so
I did not know that, but I thought it was there was like weird cryptic drama before the season started about him not being a pro this season. And then he was just popping into the frame. And I did not know that he's hosting the TikTok show. So that makes sense. Okay.
Sasha has basically been on like the cut list for years now, and he seems to be brought back in when people request him. He's also one of the shorter pros, so
Yep.
he's also kind of hard to partner. But I
Yep.
would say like the last 3 or 4 seasons he's been in, there's been rumors about him not being in it. And it's either he's gotten a really last minute partner or somebody specifically requested him.
Got it.
Right. Yeah, so he's just hanging around the ballroom for the time being. Catch him on TikTok Live. I try to tune in to the TikTok Lives in between like commercial breaks, and I'm just like, I can't really understand what's going on
Right.
here. It's just like loud noises, and if anything, it's like, okay, I'm in the bathroom and I hear the TikTok Live going, and they're like 5, 4. I'm like, all right, got to get back out there.
Yeah.
That's the main idea. So that unless Haley or Tommy, anything else for this week of the episode?
No, I just like had a great time watching, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little annoyed with the theme of next week. Like I just wish we could do just normal things. I don't know. Like
I agree.
we did
We should have done Wicked Part 1 night and Wicked Part 2 night.
Or we did like a couple seasons ago, we did like a Latin night. Let's do like a all ballroom night. Like let's do stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just the TikTok night. That just means there's going to be so many breakouts of like weird TikTok moves. We're gonna see Whitney's weird video of her dancing in the NICU with her baby, and just like I just like don't need it in my life.
If they even think to show that.
It feels out of touch having a TikTok night. Something about it is like,
well, because we're not the demographic that is trying to be pulled in for that. Unfortunately, they're looking for Gen Z to really, follow us all the way to the show. Make sure you are not just watching us on TikTok itself. Make sure you are watching TikTok on the big screen.
I feel like that's the worst way to get that generation in. It
I don't
feels
even know
it's not going to work.
Like I just don't like all the olds who are watching this. They're going to be like, "What are we doing here?"
Yes. And the youngs, the Gen Z are not going to come in because you name something TikTok.
No, they're not. It feels like such an old person move to be like TikTok night. That's going to get the youngs.
And it's going to be TikTok night with, the normal dance styles, somehow incorporating TikTok dances into them.
Yeah.
So we're really just merging, old and new. Haley, did you see this TikTok? I'm glad Ellen brought it up before the end of the show here. Lindsay Arnold was on TikTok talking about the criticism that the pros get because they have a hard job. I don't know. I
just like try not to take too much of like Lindsay in. Like I think she's good at on the show. Like I just don't like she's never somebody who's like particularly engaged me. Who was I going to who I have been enjoying is Sharna. She's been giving like really awesome critiques of like the dances. She gives like kind of feedback about what the judges are saying, why they're saying it, whether or not she agrees with that. So she is somebody who I find very interesting. Where like Lindsay, like I don't like there's like nothing about her content engages me whatsoever. Like
just like she was talking about, people are being too harsh on the pros, but they have a job to do and all this stuff. It's like, well, the show is intended for us to watch and criticize. Nobody should be sending like hate, of course, like that's always the case.
Right.
But like commenting on, okay, we thought Ezra didn't do enough with his partner last week, and you want to put that opinion on the internet, like that's where the opinion belongs. That's what we're watching the show.
It worked because he did so much better this week.
So
it's not criticism, it's like critique. It is like, okay, but if you're on the show, you have to expect it. Like that's part of it. Like that is just part of it.
Speaking of being on shows, Tommy Bracco. 99 to beat. Am I correct that it's debuting this week, or maybe it's already been out?
So the official premiere is tomorrow night, but it's already on Hulu, so people could watch it right now at midnight if they want to.
I need more information. Is it like a couple of it? Like obviously you're on the show. Is it one episode that you're on? Is it like the whole season of the show? Tell me what the show is.
No, it's a whole season. So what happens is, they have 100 contestants, and you're each competing in a series of competitions. Whoever comes in last place in every competition gets eliminated. Ooh. And most of the challenges are individual eliminations, but some of them are team games. So you'll get randomly partnered with people, and then the whole team could get eliminated, whichever team gets put in last place or comes in last place.
Right.
I got to compete with my dad, so that was really cool.
That's very cool.
Brought both of us out. We flew out to London, filmed out there. The story of how this came to be was Rachel Riley called me 2 days before my wedding, and she said, do you and your husband want to go on a reality show? And I said, oh my gosh, maybe, yes, but I'm about to walk down the aisle. Can you call me after this? And so she called me after the weekend, and we tried to figure it out. My husband's he's a finance guy. He does not come from this reality TV world. It's not his thing, but he was trying to make it work. We could not go on a honeymoon, and also he take off a month to go live in London for a month. So he was like, we're in my parents' kitchen, and we're like talking about if he could make it work or not. And he's like, Thomas, I really don't think I could do it. And my dad was there, and he just raised his hand and he says, I'll go. So then I pitched it to Rachel, who pitched it to casting. And then the next thing we knew, we were on a flight to London.
Wow.
That's so cute.
A week and a half later. It was great. And so we had a great time. So grateful that I got to do it with my dad. And I thought I was going out there to do a fun competition with my dad, but it actually wound up being the most mentally challenging thing I've ever done. Wow. Harder than Big Brother, harder than the challenge. And people will watch these challenges and think that sounds ridiculous. But the mental gymnastics of going into a challenge, being safe, then go crashing, then immediately going into the next one. We filmed 5 challenges a day. So it was exhausting.
Sounds insane. And I saw other reality TV alumni. I think tell me if I'm getting these names right. Sandra and Danny from Survivor, 2 Survivor winners. And then Cara Maria also was on.
Cara Maria from the challenge. We had Lindsay Shaw from Ned's Declassified was on.
Oh,
we had some Ciara, I don't know her last name, but she's a Power Ranger. Then we had the little boy from Full House. His name's Miko. So we had all people that have done some cool things, which was fun.
Wow.
And then new faces too. So it was great. It was awesome.
That's on Hulu, right?
Yeah. Hosted by Erin Andrews and Ken Jeong.
Oh, former Dancing with the Stars co-host.
Yes.
Look at the crossover.
So I hope the show does well. It was a crazy experience, and I loved it, and I'm excited to watch it. So it'll be fun.
And Tommy, otherwise, where can people find you online?
At Tommy Bracco is my handle. Yeah.
All right. Still tweeting about the final couple days of Big Brother here as we wind down the season.
I just want Morgan to win. That's it. Let's go.
You might get your way there.
Yeah, this is great. Plus, I have 3 of the final 4 on my Big Brother fantasy team. So I'm so excited. You too?
Yeah. The only one I don't have right now is Ashley.
Oh, the only one I don't have is Ava. So
well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Tommy, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll do this again sometime in the future. Again, know you're a big fan of the show, so natural fit here.
Thanks.
So thank you so much.
Thanks, Haley. So good to meet you and talk with you.
You too. This was so fun.
And Haley, Golden Bachelor's back, right?
Golden Bachelor's back, baby. We are ready to rumble. Amy and I did a preview podcast that is out in your feeds now. We will be covering the premiere as well, and also the entire season. So you should be getting those podcasts on Friday mornings. You can follow me on Instagram at @strong_. And if you love books, well, boy, do I have the account for you. It is at the Strong Library on Instagram, and it is where I review all of the books I read. And gosh darn it, it has been a lot this year. It's just the way it's gone. So follow me there.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm so excited because I had such a great time on this show, and I love talking about Dancing with the Stars.
Yes. So while I'm devastated I won't be able to make it for Disney night, really, of all weeks, come on.
I feel like that you missed Disney night last year too, and I filled in. Oh, okay.
I don't think it was Disney night.
Okay, great.
I don't think so. I think I might have gotten back, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But you did fill in for me last year as well, and appreciated then, appreciated now. Make sure you guys are checking out, again, the Facebook group, so you can come join in on the conversation with other RHAP Dancing with the Stars fans. Facebook.com/groups/RHAP DWTS. Again, like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Make sure you're checking out everything else going on in the Rob as a Podcast Network. Survivor season starting tomorrow night. So, of course, Rob and Steven will have all that coverage. Rob throughout the entire week. Big Brother is winding down on this season. The Amazing Race is about to kick off. So plenty going on here on the RHAP network. And if you're looking for more from me, besides here on the Dancing with the Stars coverage, talking about the challenge every week on the Free Agents podcast, and talking about Big Brother every week, even into the offseason on the Diary Room podcast, where you can find Tommy, who guested on an episode a couple of months back. So that is, I believe, it for now. Again, final thoughts. We're good. Ready to go? All right. So again, Haley will be back soon. Tommy, thank you so much for joining. Until next time, thank you all for being here with us, especially everybody in the live chat tonight. We'll be back soon. Sasha will be back next week, and another really, really great guest. A big name, if you know the Dancing with the Stars fandom, I'll say somebody who is very crucial to the Dancing with the Stars preseason is your teaser there. So if you know, you know. It should be a fun episode next week as well. We'll be back then. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.